All right. Um. Also, I'm not yellow, so I'm going to celebrate this.
Woo!
I don't know why.
John
I don't expect it to last, but is there anybody that would like to summarize last session?
Well,
yeah,
we
Lady
were
of the Mist really fucked Elmorn. That's about it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
She didn't want to meet you, man.
And I read my email. Is that what they know too, Mike?
They all they know is that she gave Martha the green gem to give to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were talking to the Lady of the Mist, who had like an eye. Was missing an eye, or eye socket was exposed. We tried to find out more about the Mornlands. She wasn't able to give us a whole lot of conclusive answers. It was mostly around like she had some control of the mists, but there was like a malevolent force that also was at play. And she didn't know what the force was. She had never seen the Lord of Blades when we asked her about it, but she heard of it. We were mostly healed. We did have something left, some sort of body horror.
Or psychological. Psychological was also an option.
Well, the mind is part of the body.
Or a little bit of both in Ivar's case.
Marthau's body horror is, or lasting effect is, every time he cracks his neck, it sounds like glass is breaking. Ivar's still talking to his rock.
And his eyes have gone blue on purple and still look a little bit clouded over.
Mm-hmm. And I don't recall Tacitus or Petrie's.
I'm
continued.
jumpy.
You're jumpy? Is that what you said? Yeah,
I'm jumpy. Let's everyone smile.
Petrie just has his hands down his pants more often than normal.
Accurate. So as we were talking to the Lady of the Mist, a familiar yet lovable greasy dwarf cuts through the clouds, and there appears Kolmar. We found out that Kolmar was following us in the bodies of others beings for some time on the Mornlands. He made a notable appearance as the body that was under the bed that we threw out into the glass rain. He also made an appearance as somehow as the giant creature that chased us and killed Baragon.
Wait, that was him?
Well, it wasn't him, but he may have accidentally.
Things may have gone awry.
So we learned that he had some part to play in it.
We learned that there may be a giant monster-laden egg hovering over Ator.
Yes.
Oh, and I can confirm that it is absolutely there. 100% without that.
Good,
yeah.
I wasn't just seeing things.
Yeah. Yeah, Petrie knows as well.
Yeah, you fucking put it there.
So we learned a lot. We ended up leaving the Mornlands right near the town that we entered. I don't recall the name. I don't have the map in front of me.
Vatharond, I think it is.
Yeah.
Is it Vatharond? I thought that was further east.
Their camp was in Mitral, which is in the Mornlands itself, but Vatharond is the city where the adventurers tend to go into the Mornlands.
Okay, so yeah, we went back to Vatharond. We were given some nice treatment kind of on the house. They could tell that we just got out of the Mornlands, so people were extra nice.
Yeah, because for Elmorn, for your benefit, some of the survivors, you guys were able to get some people out with you.
Mm-hmm.
Is probably less than a dozen out of the many that were there, but you know.
Apparently, all of them pulled through. None of them succumbed to their injuries.
One of them was the little boy that Elmorn tried to save.
Right. I read that. I was very happy to read that. I did something at least.
Yeah.
I did.
I'd like to crush
we
all
got
of their
them-
dreams. Just
We
most.
We did get them all clothed and fed and then sent north.
I did offer to cut the cord for the Lady of the Mist, but she seemed to decline. And then I tried to offer to capture her spirit and put it in an undead corpse, which I think she's thinking about. So I think that's a possibility. I'm not going to give up hope on that.
I'm not sure Elmore would appreciate that.
Well, she seemed trapped there, so I was just trying to figure out a way to get her out.
You would pick some creepy looking dude to put her.
No, trust me. There's plenty of selection. We can.
Yeah, he promised to actually bring her a selection of possible bodies for her to choose from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Choice is important.
It is.
A buffet, if you will.
So one thing that so you guys are making your way back towards the Handsome Mansion. Along the way, there was the issue with the detour. Once you got to around the place where Ator comes up, normally the lightning rail will run through there, but significant distance from the city, far enough to where you couldn't see it from the horizon. The train had stopped, and House Orion, in conjunction with House Cannith, because House Orion runs the lightning rail, but House Cannith manages the monoliths that power the lightning rail, and so they were stating that there needed to be some maintenance done because some of the monoliths had broken or been malfunctioning. And so you guys are being offered a caravan ride, but you notice that it takes you substantially away around Ator. And then I know many of you had done things to kind of investigate on your own. So I don't know if any of your characters kind of want to bring up anything that's been found. Tacitus, once everybody else is done, we'll kind of go through your spell, your legend lore, because it's going to react a bit more flashy than it normally does.
Sure.
So
You know me, I like flashy.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a bit of a communion with my god, and I asked where the egg went, as well as a couple other things. But and the egg is definitely in a tour, and we didn't sever an anchor, so it is still here. And we have to watch out for lichens because lichens are bad. And my god thinks I'm doing a great job. So
Well, now I know you're lying.
Yeah, I'm going to roll insight.
and yeah, I'm lying.
Ivar steps a couple feet away and brings the rock up to his mouth and begins muttering into it.
Oh, one thing everybody notices is Petrie is wearing a new armor that looks very interesting.
Do pray tell.
It's a little scary. It's got a lot of sharp edges and gauntlets that end in claws. And you notice that it actually, the trim is reminiscent of the Silver Flame designs, but rather than inlaid in silver, they're kind of inlaid in a much more muted gray.
Careful with those claws down your pants. What the hell are you doing?
It gets in deeper.
Anybody else have anything pertinent to share about the egg situation?
Oh yeah, look at this. I also have this sword. And I say, fire. And the sword just sparks up into flames. I'm like, it's pretty cool.
It's Silver Flame that it sparks into as well.
Oh yeah.
Petrie, how did you procure this stuff?
Well, I was looking for the shiniest thing in the armory, and this was it. I got the black shiny armor and this white shiny sword.
Does the Silver Flame have like a shifty or cousin or something you're worshiping?
That is going to be burned into my mind now.
That was my first thought when you said interesting armor.
False idolatry.
Oh my god.
No, it's nothing to worry about. It's just I just hear my god a little more. That's all good.
What is your guy telling you?
If anybody wants, they can roll a religion check to kind of see if they can make any links with this armor and the Silver Flame.
Also, Colm pretty shifty. He might be a lichen.
And as he says that, I shake out my cloak, and you see like little bits of fur and stuff fall to the ground.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I got a 19 on my religion check.
Yeah, I got a total 20.
You got a total of 5.
All right. Well, Ivar and Colmar, you would be able to put together that this armor, it's definitely reminiscent of the Silver Flame, but probably more than likely dates back to the Crusades that the Silver Flame engaged in against the lycanthropes in what is known as the Purge.
Oh.
The lycanthropic purge. So that was probably about 200 years ago, I want to say, in Thrain's history. Maybe 300 years ago, before the last war.
Oh, radicals. Lovely.
So.
Any other fancy new tricks?
Yeah, so I'm going to start transcribing a letter. Dear Flame Keeper Stetson. You're aware.
Good old Flamekeeper Stenson.
Yeah, he's probably a
read
lichen.
that for you.
FKS, if you will.
So as we've been traveling, caravans, are we still near Atur, or did we go all the way back to the handsome mansion?
So that is one of the things that you guys can discuss. And actually, Dustin, did I send you an email about what you?
You did, and that's
Okay.
that's the genesis of my question.
Okay, cool. Because I got a little worried that I might have forgotten to send it. So you guys are kind of still at a crossroads, or at least close enough to decide how you want to proceed, because this is definitely something that if you are wanting to put aside the stuff with the angel face creature, that you could investigate. So there's that.
So I'm gonna, just for like location's sake, I'm gonna assume that we are stopped somewhere after we found out that there was a divergence, or like that there was a that they're diverging around Etor, and we haven't really gone much further past that point.
No, not much further. No.
So I as we've been here, like caravans have passed, and I've gleaned from my illustrious connections that that lately there's been some major military movements around Etor. Their king, King Caius III, claims it to be a military parade, while others heard that it's a war game exercise. But this, regardless of whether or not it's a war games exercise or a military parade, they're evacuating city civilians, which seems odd. But they're also being discreet about it.
And just so to kind of give you a idea of the scope of the detour, they're taking you all the way around the Ashen Spires.
Ivar begins to loosen up the top plates on his leather armor. Before we decide to go in there, I just wanted to show you the extra eye socket I got from the last time we dealt with Ator. And now we get to go in there, deal with all the undead and the giant monster in the egg.
That's very interesting, Ivar. How did you get that?
There was some kids who, when we landed in the airship and you got off, hurled cursed stones onto the airship that then unleashed spirits onto the airship that cursed us all.
You know, I could take care of that if you need be. I mean, I could add an extra eye, so you'd have two.
I don't want an extra eye socket.
Well, it would match.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Kolmar, how do you feel about returning to Ator?
I think it's a bad idea.
What do you know about Ator since you spent some time there that we don't?
It is heavily influenced by the Crimson Monastery, and they are currently probably looking for a short, greasy, mask-wearing dwarf, which may or may not be me.
I see. What did this greasy mask-wearing dwarf do to the Crimson Monastery?
I helped them get to the afterlife.
Oh, you did them a favor.
Well, yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. Yeah.
Probably not in their eyes.
I mean, isn't the whole point of being undead to be not alive?
Yeah, but I guess I took out the whole them on their own time thing.
Ah. Well. What is the Crimson Monastery? Does Martha know? Is there like general knowledge of what the Crimson Monastery is?
It's not well understood outside of it, or
okay.
Unless you're pretty involved with it. The most you know is that there are rumors that it's involved in the undead in some way.
Okay.
The Carnathi zombies and skeletons had to come from somewhere, and a lot of people think it's there.
Gotcha. So what is this Crimson Monastery?
It is the head of the Blood of Vol, like probably where it I wouldn't say originates, but where most of the necromantic arts are focused.
That's bad.
I think this is a great opportunity for your new silver sword, Petrie.
Yeah, we're gonna burn some of dead guys. But also, do they have anything to do with the Emerald Claw?
I didn't find any associations in my time there.
The Emerald Claw was that the cult that we ran into earlier? Because they were. I thought they were based off of the Blood of All or something like that.
They were the ones that.
Yeah. Oh, good.
They were the ones that attacked us on the train, right?
No, that was.
No, they attacked us on horses. They were the ones
Okay.
which showed up. Yeah. Who the Warforged uppercutted.
Yeah, Stencil. For a time, Elmorn wore a suit of armor with their heraldry on it.
Still have it, I think.
I thought you got rid of it.
Unless the armor I picked up in the army was different than that.
No, but I thought you said that you tried to have it taken off.
No, I covered it up with a cloak at one point, but I don't think I ever removed it.
Okay, so then yeah, you still bear that armor then.
Yeah, I was trying to hide it at some point, but I wanted to. I think because we were in somewhere where somebody would recognize it and it would have been bad. But I think I tried to scare people with it at another point.
And the point when they attacked was when you guys were trying to guard the caravan that was going back and forth delivering the dragon shards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Brevin, Stencil, and the shifter girl whose name escapes me.
We got a face blown off, I think.
I would suggest if anyone runs into Brevin, don't mention that we had anything to do with the egg. As far as he knows, it is an unrelated disaster.
So my spell, did I do that here or did I do it beforehand?
Well, is there any other conversation that you guys are having? Because it sounds like you're also still trying to decide if you're going to Ator or if you guys are going to go back to the Handsome Mansion.
So I sort of brought the egg here, so it's probably my responsibility to take it out. So I think it's best to go to a tour, maybe?
Well, let me put it this way. If you had left it in the Mournlands, then the Warforged would still have control over it and would probably use it to attack neighboring countries. But now Karnath has control over it, and we're kind of friendly with them. So therefore, all you've done is improve the situation. Good day's work. Time to go home.
I don't know if I'm overly thrilled about putting Kolmar and putting him going back in with Kolmar with Kolmar's friend as a hot target. I feel like that's asking for some sort of trouble. Not that we are wont to causing trouble, but.
I mean, I'll obviously go in disguise, but I don't know how well that will work.
If they're bringing an army, maybe we should bring our own. We should call Brevin.
Yeah, back to my earlier point about not telling Brevin that we're related to the giant egg.
Last time he helped us fight the Blood of Vol with an army. Maybe we can do it again, but with a giant egg instead.
For once, I agree with Petrie.
So Kurt, I'm gonna send you something. So part of it is catch up reminder.
Also, the less necromancers, the better, right, Colmar?
Depends on what their intent is. Just like crazed crusaders who just want to kill all lycanthropes.
Yeah, well, they're evil.
Well, if you want fewer necromancers, what's better than a giant egg filled with a monster to get rid of them?
Well, we sort of left the Blood of Vol people with like their crazy dragon shards, and the stuff they can do with that, like bring giant demons from a different realm. I think that's a bit worrying. I think maybe they be able to. Maybe this egg is a giant demon from another realm, which we should probably take care of.
Right, but it's not their giant demon from another realm. It's the Warforged. It's likely to hatch and destroy Ator all around them.
Yeah, neither was the Dragon Shard demon. They got killed in that as well. They just want to bring a demon to the world to kill everything. They don't care about themselves. But
all right, set Kurt. Oh, first part's a reminder. Second part is update.
Maybe we should just find more lichens to kill instead of these
It's
necrobats.
updated. You got the update in the way that is familiar to you.
And I also don't think that they will take too kindly, Petrie, to your silver flame regalia parading around the streets. That may kind of draw some attention.
But, well, I can't take it off.
Of course not.
Yeah, it's sort of stuck on. Because I tried to, put my hand down my pants, and it was a little hard to take off. I think it's stuck.
You need some grease?
I'm going to need more than grease, I think.
This sounds like I might need to identify this fucking armor he's wearing.
You don't want to do that.
I think I probably do, actually.
It'll probably speak to you too.
We'll get there whenever we get there. I'm in the middle of casting something. It takes 10 minutes, I guess.
Leave me alone for 10 minutes.
Just before we get to Tacitus's spell, Anno, does Elmorn have anything to say about his experience with the green gem? And if not, it's okay if it's not the right time to come out. But I was just wondering if maybe the group noticed anything different since leaving Bethrond.
To come out, guys. Green gem turned me gay.
I knew it.
No. I would say change is a slow process, but they might notice that Elmorin is agreeing with Petrie, which would be weird to them, maybe.
Yeah, actually, that's very weird.
You seem to be more affable to Petrie of late.
Yeah, well, he is my squire, so
Ah, yes. I forgot.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I take it
hold
back. I don't agree with that. No, I don't think Elmorn would just like come out and say anything really. Yeah.
Okay. That's why I wanted to word it like that, just to be sure. All right. So while you guys are trying to still figure out whether you're going to go into a tour or if you're going to head back to the Hanson Mansion, Tacitus, you cast your spell, Legend Lore. Normally, in casting the spell, well, first of all, what does the ritual look like that of casting it?
Let's see here. There's probably a lot of smoke around from incense being burned. And then tying a few leather straps to my arm as I sort of just kind of focus with hands out and just am mumbling to myself the incantation. And I'm just kind of like there for 10 minutes. Every once in a while, piping up to say something to them, but otherwise continuing on.
All right. So as you do this, a strange change happens, and the incense that you are burning, the smoke begins to darken and deepen, and then it seems to swirl until it forms into the face that has some very gnomish features. Not it doesn't look too dissimilar from Ivar, with the difference of the age being much greater. You can tell even in the smoke the years of weight and wisdom that kind of are being bared by just within the eyes of the gnome. And everybody else is seeing this too, and they can, when the smoke gnome opens his mouth to speak, everybody can hear it. And he says, I am Seljarn Serenian de Civis, and you seek information about Mordain the Fleshweaver.
Yes.
Yeah, can you spell that name out for me?
No.
Where is Mordain hiding?
You notice that he doesn't respond to you. His eyes are severely locked upon Tacitus.
Just kind of like hands still out. Was not expecting this, guys.
Apparently, he only talks to you.
What'd you ask again?
Where is Mordain hiding?
We seek Mordain. Do you know where he is hiding?
There are few that know more about Mordain than I, for I was the one that tried him for his crimes. He lies at Blackroot, the abominable castle that he has created from the carcass of a black dragon.
How come you in this form?
What?
How did he get into this apparition, or how is he in this armor, or where did this guy come from?
I'm not sure he'll answer that question. We're here to this. We're asking about Mordain. Not sure he'll answer questions about himself. I mean, I don't know. I guess I can ask. Hold on. It's kind of like, why are you like this in the smoke form?
In life, it was I that tried to bring Mordain to justice for the many and varied crimes that he committed against life itself. He made it his work to corrupt magic to his needs and sought out carnal incantations and control of energies and manifestations that should never be brought into this world. It was my life's culmination to see his downfall. And so in death, I am still intertwined very much with the goal of seeing that his end is brought about. I have been called by this magic to assist you in such an endeavor, as I sense that is a possibility in providing this information.
Yeah, totally. Anything else? Does he have any weaknesses that we should know about?
What I can tell you is that after his trial, we had tried many times to execute him for his crimes. One time, he was burned at the stake. However, despite burning him until there was nothing left but ash, he slowly managed to reform into his old self without seeming to have taken any harm. He was bathed in acid, and as we put that leftover into the ground, he absorbed the dirt and reformed himself yet again. Time and time again, we had tried to destroy his body, but it would not die. Finally, we regretfully accepted that we could not kill him, but we were prepared to put him into a hole that he would never escape. The prison of Dreadhold, the most secure prison ever known to this world. He was petrified by a high-level mage within the Tower of the 12 and put upon a train to be transported to that place. And yet, through his own will, he managed to reverse the spell and escaped before he could be put into Dreadhold. From there, he made his way to Drome. If there are any weaknesses or any ways to hurt him, none have been found so far.
What foul magic causes such an effect?
Why does he keep coming back to life?
Because he can. That is a silly question. Ask something better.
I don't trust this gnome.
Ask if they tried murdering him in an anti-magic field.
Fair question. How about that? Yeah. Have you attempted to kill him while in the sphere of a nullified magic realm?
Of course. At the Tower of the 12, these fields are sometimes even put in permanently in order to create safe zones. We attempted to nullify his magic in hopes that it might allow his corpse to finally sink into the earth. However, even in such a state, it was not enough. Whether it is magic or something else that allows him to continue to return unharmed, we were not able to accurately understand the process.
Now, would Tacitus have any familiarity with, like, lich phylacteries?
Give me a arcane or a religion check.
Let's see. We'll go ahead and look, just in case. Maybe I get something better. It's not bad, but yeah, that's a lot better. 26.
Yeah, you would understand phylacteries. Well, you wouldn't understand them, but you'd be aware of them.
Right. Are you aware of any sort of potential phylactery that might house his soul?
We looked. If such a phylactery exists, we could not find it. But we have necromancers that were a part of the Tower of the 12 while I led the trials. And they were present and working to try and separate his body from his soul. But no such soul could be found. And there was no remnant of it having ever been there. If there was a phylactery, there would be some kind of vestige of animating magic or some connection that could be found through such necromancy. However, it was unable to be determined.
Did you attempt to use his own blood against him?
Did you attempt to use his own blood against him?
In what way do you mean?
In what way do you mean?
Did you have
one
any
job on this ship.
His blood, as all parts of his body, seem to be connected, intertwined, and also independent in a way that no transmuter has ever been able to achieve now or since. It is as if he has absolute control of each small, minute piece of himself. And so if there were to be blood that he could have used against him through blood magic or some other form, the blood would not respond.
Man, this guy's not giving me much to work with here.
Is this gnome dead? Is that why he's talking to us like this?
Yeah, he said he was dead.
Oh, well, he's useless. He's dead.
And what grudge is it this guy has against you?
He, who, Mordain?
Yeah.
Well, we thought that he brought the angel face creature, but really he just knows a lot about it. And we were looking for him to ask him some questions about it. He did try to get into our minds once with these strange dreams, but I think that was just a way of him communicating with us. Even though it did hurt.
So without being prompted by a question, the gnome will state Mordain was thought to have engaged in research with what is called the closed circle within Sharn. This was a group of wizards and others associated with, I believe you know them as the cult of the dragon below. These individuals used their knowledge of Zoriat to summon creatures from that plane in order to increase their power over the chaos of that realm and learn the secrets of that place. It is thought that through his research and his studies, he was able to grow his power. And it is through his experimentation with living creatures that he had committed atrocities beyond description. He has a connection to the Delkir, the lords of Zoriat.
I just say, when he says that, I just say, look, he's responsible for killing Fenris, and I got a score to settle with that motherfucker. And I show him the tattoo of Fenris's name on my forearm.
The gnome kind of continues to stare at Tacitus.
I don't know who that is, man. So, any other questions?
I take out my ceremonial dagger and I start cutting my arm and watching the blood drop on the ground. And I start staring at that gnome.
I'm making a mess. What the hell?
What are you? You better not be doing any more of that weird blood magic. Even though blood is power.
Don't worry, Petrie. It's all supervised.
Okay.
Have you tried harnessing the power of Zoriat to help to find a weakness for Mordain the Flesh Weaver?
I'll repeat that question.
To call forth such magic is too dangerous for any individual. And the knowledge that brings can shatter the minds of even the strongest willed creatures. The fact that Mordain was able to maintain his senses and avoid complete insanity is another testament to the will and power with which he has command.
I mean, I just need to get up to like level 20. I think I could do it.
Mordain certainly has a connection to the Delkir, and if you seek knowledge of those creatures and how to end them, there is nobody that would have more knowledge with which to utilize. But be cautious. If he is calling for you in service of your quest against the Delkir to manage whatever state Zoriat may be having upon the world, there will be a price. And it may be one not worth paying.
You're muted.
You're muted, Kurt.
Ivar began to look a little worried when he was talking about the power of Zoriat driving people mad as he pulls back his bowstring and a Zoriat-empowered arrow just forms.
Yeah.
Does the party do the rest of us know that Ivar has Zoriat powered arrows?
Kurt, I don't remember the
Yeah,
exact
we were.
circumstances.
It happened when we were in the Tower of the 12 and the portal to Zoriat opened and things started coming through. And a tendril reached out and wrapped around Ivar at one point, after which time he was able to summon this black essence and form them into arrows.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
So we all know that those arrows are like Zoriat based.
Well, you don't know they're Zoriat based, but you know that the effect is related to your encounter with a creature from Zoriat.
Okay. So we could make the guess.
It's not a far leap.
And Martha looks on Ivar with some wonder, as Token puts it, and remarks, "My gosh, those arrows are making you mad."
I don't know what you're talking about. He turns around and walks away and starts whispering into his stone.
So, Mordain seems to draw his power from this other realm. Does that seem an accurate statement?
Much of the knowledge that he has gathered and many of the techniques that he uses were learned from the teachings of the creatures of Zoriat.
Having a very Doctor Strange idea here. Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
That works better if you have the time stone.
Sure.
What are you trying to do with that?
I don't. I'm just. That's what comes to mind. I mean, he pulls his power from this realm. If we sever that tie somehow, if that's truly what happens, I mean, I don't know.
So our plan is to destroy Zoriat. Once and for all.
I mean, otherwise, all I'm getting here is the fucker can't be killed.
Yeah, sounds like he's got it all figured out.
Yeah.
So it's probably best we just go and speak to him and don't piss him off. And hopefully he can help us.
Just
I'm not.
I'll banish him? Yeah, sweet. I'll bring him. He'll come back to our place. He'll go back to the handsome mansion.
On one hand, I need to find out more about it. I need to find out more about this angel-faced creature. On the other hand, I have no desire to ever encounter this multi-grain the toaster. I don't necessarily wish to see him. I'm reasonably sure whatever bargain he would offer would be, whatever deal would be far worse for us than it would be for him.
Tell me this then. Perhaps since you have encountered him the most, speaking again to the gnome, whatever the fuck his name was,
So, Ivar, you recognize the name because he's quite a famous gnome of House Civis or House Civis. So, sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Should we encounter him, what would be the best way to defend ourselves from his influence and power?
Do not let him touch you. Do not physically come in contact with anything that he might offer or any creature under his control. His magic, his specialty when he was at the Tower of the 12. He was a provost of transmutation. And so he is an absolute master of anything involving changes to the body, mutations, shape-shifting.
Guys, I don't want to go. Not more of this shit.
He could change us back to normal.
Yeah, this gnome's just trying to scare you. Don't worry about him.
So just a kind of a reminder that when you guys first encountered the angel face creature, the Delkir, you released it from being imprisoned underneath Fort Deep Dark, or at least you know that it was released, and not only did it kill Fenris, but the magic of just its presence was enough to create those monstrosities that you all encountered down in the depths of Fort Deep Dark. And now that it's loose upon the world, you have no idea what it's actually doing. But you do remember encountering Fenris once again at Greywall. And Colmar, even you saw part of that, even though you weren't physically with the group, in terms of how greatly it changed Fenris and how powerful Fenris was after having been influenced by the angel face creature.
What was he, like a level 2 rogue?
He's actually level 20. He was just hiding it from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can Mordain withstand whiplash damage?
Yeah, did they even try whiplash damage?
Tell me, Gnome, did you try whiplash damage?
Following along an adventure.
At that moment, that question, you see the smoke kind of fizzle a little bit, and like you hear him say, "What?
The fabled whiplash damage.
It's this new type of, it's this new force that we have discovered. It penetrates all,
in whispers.
it penetrates all defenses. Cannot be resisted.
But Mordain created the angel face creature.
No. The angel face creature is a Delkir, which is a resident of Zoriat, Plane of Madness.
So how are the two related? Is there any connection, or I'm just like making my own connections?
No, they're connected because much of Mordain's power comes from having studied the forbidden knowledge and lore of the Delkir and Zoriat, and engaging in experiments to try and replicate some of the things that the creatures of madness are capable of. So he has more knowledge about what these Delkirs are capable of and how to deal with them than anybody else on the face of the planet.
Tell me.
And also just as a reminder, previous to Kurt and Tony joining, each of you had that dream where Mordain contacted you, telling you that he could help you with the Delkir, and sensing that the Delkir had, you still had the essence of the Delkir upon you. And so he was able to tell that you had encountered one, and that he invited you to find him where he would assist you, which is the whole reason why you guys have been seeking out Mordain.
Yeah.
Tell me, Gnome, where did he first acquire the knowledge to contact this plane?
As I mentioned before, there was what is known as the Closed Circle, a group of monstrous wizards and researchers and keepers of lore who had made contacts with the creatures that exist in Kyber, far beneath the ground, living in the subterranean dwellings where they might remain in the shadows undetected. And these are often thought to be the final vestiges of when Zoriat's influence was strong upon Eberron. You know them now as cults of the dragon below. If you and you guys each know that the cults of the dragon below, there's always been rumors about people that are willing to flay their skin or rip out their eyes or engage in other kind of body horrors that they self-inflict in order to be closer or under the influence of monsters that live below in Kyber, which is kind of like Eberron's version of the Underdark, where a lot of these creatures reside. It looks like we also lost Dustin.
So ask him why the unkillable Mordain needs somebody else to go after the Dalkir.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts as to why he would either assist us or more likely have us assist him with at least acquiring or killing this Delkir creature?
In my connection to Mordain in this afterlife, watching him as I have in the last 100 years or so, he has not once come forth from his tower of Blackroot. Instead, he sends emissaries of his own creation in order to lure in the subjects of his experiments, and using the jungle around his tower to help continue whatever things that it is he is researching. So for one, I would guess there is something that has prevented him from physically leaving that tower. Whether his age is starting to cause him to become more decrepit, or if there is some other side effect of the magic that he has used to prevent his death, there may be something there that you offer by being able to go where it is needed. But if he were to engage in some kind of trade to help you deal with the Delkir, be cautious. because it is very likely that the aid he provides would not completely eliminate that creature, but rather bring it under his control or otherwise gain knowledge of its magic and capacities in order to add to his own.
That was my assumption. If I remember correctly, I did. Was it the legend lore on the mask that gave me some sort of said something about this cult?
I'll find it for you and I'll resend it to you.
Yeah, I got a lot of emails. Difficult to find it.
You're the lore collector.
Yeah.
All right. Legend lore. Because I remember what I sent you was pretty cool, I thought.
There's a lot to it.
Whereas I remember hearing before that Mordain was unkillable. I forget where I got that information, but I've always surprised that he completely forgot all that. It's got to be important information to keep in your head.
We've been through a lot of shit.
All right, Tony. I forwarded it back to you again. Let me know if you got it.
Let's see here.
Is there any relation between Mordain and this egg? Or does this egg come from Zariot? Zariot?
I don't think the egg is related. The egg is just pure evil, which makes it kind of sound like it could be related, but Mike gave the simile of it's kind of like from
The fifth
element, the evil planet thing that was alive, basically. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie.
Come in!
Come on, man. You have any matches? I don't have any matches. Yeah, basically it's an evil, evil thing.
Do you guys mind if we take a short break, and then that'll give you, Tony, a chance to read that email, and then I can use the bathroom and make myself soda.
Okay.
Yeah, you get some water and a fork for my cake.
You got to have that cake, man. You can't just let it sit.
That's right. All right.
Alrighty. figured out your technical issues, Dustin?
Yeah. My computer is going through an upgrade right now.
Ooh.
So I'm on my laptop.
What a time for those automatic upgrades.
Right. It's all good. I got a laptop not too long ago. And this is a nice laptop. So it's awesome. I don't mind using it. I rarely am impressed by laptops and like consumer hardware. But I got a Dell XPS 13 and it's probably the best. It's probably the best laptop I've ever used.
Nice.
I like it more than the MacBook Pros.
Mac shit.
I don't mind Macs. It's just I have one for work, and Macs are great when I don't have to pay for it.
Okay, how do I turn you down?
Yeah, you went from like 0 to 100.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How about now?
Much better.
All right, that's more reasonable.
I could jack it up again.
Whoa, now.
So, Tacitus, one thing I can let you know before Peter gets back is you can feel the magic holding this spirit beginning to fade.
Yeah.
So you might have enough for one more question if you got it.
Is that a result of Coleman's blood magic?
Comer's what?
Petrie doesn't know. Sure, maybe. Yeah.
Damn it, Coleman.
So Mordain may or may not be dangerous, and we can't let him touch us or anything of his touch us. How is he going to pay us to do any work for him?
He has to have the minions of his minions of his minions pay us.
Even then, we don't know how many generations you need to get rid of the Zoriat cooties. I vote that we give it to Petrie first and let him hold on to it for a while. He's used to dealing with cooties.
I don't think anyone will want to touch me. I've been touching myself too much.
Not even Mordain.
You know what? Is anybody
That's true. Maybe that's the crabs. The crabs could be Mordain's one weakness. An internal case of crabs.
Has anybody here seen Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, I watched all the way through. Good show.
Oh, good. So you know exactly what I mean when I talk about Chucky?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I imagined, Petrie.
Wow. Thanks.
For those of you that don't know, on Sons of Anarchy, there's this one guy that was in prison that the gang helps out, but apparently he's a compulsive masturbator, and so he'll just be having a conversation with somebody, and nonchalantly won't even notice that his hand goes into his pants and he starts playing with himself.
Yeah. But I'm scratching. Yeah, because he got his hands cut off, didn't he?
Well, all but his index fingers on each hand, because he's an accountant. So he keeps the books, and you don't need more than your two fingers to work on a calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this is the people we're associating with.
All right, everybody back and ready?
Yep. So really, neither of the go into Ator or go visit Mordain plans sound like good ones.
You know, I think I personally would rather visit Mordain and get this over with.
So, what I'll do then is I sensing that the magic is fading, and the potential link between the cult of the dragons below or whatever.
I got one more question.
I only get one more question.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Well, okay. We can extend it because that's going to be a minor question. We'll say.
It's already been reduced.
Are you going to ask him if he wants a body?
No, I'm going to ask him if he knows anybody named Navatish.
Does the name Navatish ring a bell?
The gnome says that name is not familiar to me.
I will then.
Probably lying. He's a gnome.
Ivor, how do you feel about that?
I just shoot him a look at this point.
I thought you were about to say I just shoot him in the face.
I just shoot him.
With my arrow, with my Zorya arrow.
I mean, I would shoot him in the crotch, but he's already clawing at it with the demon armor, so he might like it.
Yeah, so sensing the magic is starting to fade, I will finally lower one of my hands and produce the wrap that's holding the mask. And does this look like it might have any significance? Look familiar at all? It does seem to have a link to this cult of the dragon below. I can recite a poem for you if you really like. It came with the mask.
The gnome kind of looks intently, studying the mask, and he says, "I have not heard of anything regarding a mask, but I can sense that there is some connection between that and the dragon below."
Yeah, that much I'm certain.
Yeah, unfortunately, not much you can get from the gnome about that. Do you want everybody to have access to that? Do you want to tell everybody the poem?
I'll write it down for those who can read, and I'll just send it to people.
Okay, so not Petrie.
Oh.
He doesn't need to know about the mask.
Yeah, I just need to know I have to go to put it on a cat or something.
Did you ever tell anybody what happened to you when you cast Legend Lore on the mask?
No, I don't think so.
Didn't it try to bite you or something? I think I remember overhearing that.
Yeah, I think you guys ran into my room right after I did it.
Yeah, you were screaming or something.
Yeah. Ain't good.
Yeah.
So I'll just send it to the group.
All right. And then with that, the spirit of the gnome begins to fade, and the smoke dissipates.
May the Schwartz be with you. Well, that wasn't exactly helpful.
Yeah, he was pretty useless.
Yeah, don't touch the guy. Don't try and kill him, because what's the point?
All right, so, what are people's thoughts about a tour versus Mordain versus just going and having a chill weekend at the Hanson Mansion?
Well, we have to go back to the Hanson Mansion before we go see Mordain. So why don't we go to the Hanson Mansion now and then debate whether or not we ever go see Mordain?
I think even if we are to go back to A Tour, we probably should go back to the Hanson Mansion to sort shit out. Which means harass Father Stenson and call Brevin.
No, it won't involve eating them. Damn it. Alright, I think we should go back to the Hanson Mansion.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing... I cast the same spell for the egg, and the only thing I got back was a sense of pure evil and potential end of the world. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, let's do it quick.
Yeah, if it's anything like the Blood of Vol, we're definitely going to need an army or a small, small cluster of people other than us.
Well, while Petrie's talking to them, I'm kind of just going to walk and be behind him and quietly, ritually casting Identify on his fucking armor.
Okay. As you cast it, all that really appears to you is maybe a magical armor. Maybe it enhances his defense, or it's more resistant to damage. Other than that, that's all you really find. You're
You
muted.
better legend lore my armor then. You never talk with that too.
Saying, are you sure? Because Identify is supposed to tell me if it's cursed.
I mean, in most situations.
Yeah. Whiplash curses.
Yeah, the whiplash curse.
Oh yeah, you can't defend against the whiplash. So yeah, sure. Fine. Don't tell me.
Well, all I'm saying is that just a normal Identify doesn't exactly bring up the information that you expect.
Action point.
Yeah, so are you trying to say use an action point? Because I got 4 to spend. I'll pump a point into it.
No, not this time.
Oh man.
You need whiplash.
It's going to be a little bit more difficult to get to the bottom of what Petrie's armor is about. You do get a sense. You do get a sense that
that there's more here than meets the eye.
There is something masking the full extent of the armor.
Hey, this is the first time I've got plate armor. Stop trying to wreck it for me. Just because it might be cursed, gosh.
Of course, it's plate armor.
He had that cursed sword, and that never did any harm. Except to him.
Look around. Who else has plate armor? Don't look at me. I know I have plate armor. Don't look at me. Look at everybody else.
Everyone but me. And now I'm wearing. And just because I got the coolest armor
And do you know
doesn't mean
why
you
we
get to
have it?
identify it. So yeah, lichens are bad. Moral of the story: kill them all. And if I suspect you're a lichen, you're probably gonna die in your sleep. And I look at Colma.
Oh my gosh.
I'd hate to see a dwarven lichen. How hairy would that be?
Further note, Flamekeeper Stinson, Petrie seems to exhibit.
So shall we head back to the Hanson Mansion then?
Well, I mean, assuming end of the world is bad, but we don't have any plan to deal with the egg. We would just go in and hope as hard as we can, right at it.
Hoping upon a star.
That's how we typically do things, I suppose. That wouldn't be any better than any other plan.
Oh, I thought we typically left Elmorn to fight with the big bad thing on his own.
Yeah, do that too.
We'll go
Well,
save the people the
here's
train.
our-
Elmorn. Oh,
Our plan is we'll go in and then we'll all spend our action points to grow Elmorn to the size of whatever's inside the egg. Then the rest of us will use whatever to go back to the Haunted Mansion.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's good to me.
I think we do want to go back to the Hanson Mansion for now, though.
Yeah. Our best bet might actually be Mordain.
Aren't
However,
those, like, freeloaders still living at our place?
what?
Oh, nah, they probably left by now.
Oh, we got scared off by Baba.
Yeah, Bubba's still there.
More than likely, yes.
Your chocolate milk cow should be there by now.
All right, so everybody's good with going back to the Hanson Mansion then?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So you guys finally get back after a very long journey around the Ashen Spires. That's it, right? Yeah, the Ashen Spires. You get back there. The first thing you hear as you walk in the door is something break, and Charles yelling at Baba. And the two of them squabbling about where the proper place where the dishes are. And Baba is vehemently disagreeing.
Alrighty.
But then once Charles sees you guys walk in the door, he has a look of relief, especially when his eyes pass over Marthau, and then a look of intense anger when they come upon Ivar. So it's mixed emotions for him.
Ivar blows him a kiss.
What was the reason that he disliked Ivar?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Those damn cats, man.
I think this is a session I was gone for.
Oh, it wasn't a session. It was a email thing.
Yeah.
Well, there was also
Everybody was.
Charles also had the thing where Ivar was summoning cats and then riding all the banisters naked.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I thought that's the session I missed for sure. I would remember that.
So there's multiple reasons why Charles is not incredibly fond of Ivar. So there's that. But Charles goes to embrace Marthau and says, "Sir, it has been too long. You're safe?"
Yes, I'm well. Surprisingly. That's as good to see you, Charles. I missed you. It's been a lonely road. And
Although as you embrace, there is the sound of shattering glass in your neck.
Oh yeah.
He's embraced by your scarf.
and the scarf is like Omar, for your reference, Marthau has a scarf around his neck. It kind of looks like an eel with a giant eye. It doesn't talk, but it does move around, and the eye kind of like moves and it looks around from time to time. It takes interest in things, kind of like a cat.
Mm-hmm.
You wear
It's
it
got
as
two eyes though. It's got eyes on one eye on each end.
Yeah, so they both kind of like look around. But yeah, I wear it around my neck.
Yeah. So Charles immediately kind of jumps away and is like, "Sir, your neck."
Yes, this is Gary. We picked him up in the mornings.
I mean, yes, that is also disturbing, but the sound. Are you okay? It sounded like your neck had shattered.
Yes. Well, we ended up going into the Moorlands. Elmore couldn't contain himself, for the love of his daughter was too great.
Sorry.
Chagrin and downfall. It has some irreversible effects. But worry not. I'm feeling fine. It's just good to be back.
Right. Very good, sir. Very good. Shall I prepare a meal for you? You have likely come from a long way and can probably use a good meal and some rest.
Yes. Prepare me a meal and a bath. I must wash myself of this travel soot and of the Moorlands.
Very
Then
good,
also
sir.
prepare a smaller bath for Gary, if you don't mind.
He's a little confused, but he's like, very good, sir. Right away.
Would you guys like baths?
I just kind of like look under my collar. Hey, Basil, you mind helping out here? And you see like the grime and dirt and stuff that had accumulated on my armor just kind of shimmers away. I'm good.
I would like a bath, Charles. Feel free to prepare one for me as well.
Yes. Prepare the pot for Ivar. It should be about his size.
Also, this cat's gonna need a bath as well. Here you go.
Right. Well, good sirs, you do realize there is only one bath. I shall clean it between each use, but it is only good for one, or for an adventurous couple too.
I will allow you and your scarf to go first.
Elmore clasps Charles on the shoulder and says, "Thank you, Charles. I appreciate everything that you've done and continue to do. You're a great, hell of a man."
Charles looks at you like he's expecting you to get his guard down for you to sock him right in the eye.
And is Baba there?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Baba's still there.
So yeah, shortly after that, Baba comes in and he says, "Da, it is you. Very good, very good. You are back.
Good to see you as well, Baba. I miss this place.
Is he under mind control, or charm, perhaps?"
Give me 10 minutes, I'll find out.
As my chocolate milk cow arrived, I was much looking forward to a glass of milk with one eyebrow.
Oh, yes. We received the cow approximately a fortnight ago. It is in the back grazing. It was difficult to create a barrier where our lovely guardian, thank you, Colmar, for that.
Where is it?
Would
Where's my bullet?
not. it's out back and patrolling.
Okay, I
if
just
you-
roll past everybody and run out there.
Yeah. So when you see the bullet, you notice that it seems to be a little lighter on its feet, and little bit of its core is missing.
Hmm.
And you see what looks like a burial plot where Charles tried to bury whatever refuse he had to dispose of.
I'll just look to everybody who happens to be around, I guess, and just ask, how long do we expect to be here?
Well, we need audience with Brevin and Father Stenson, so because they can help us.
Can they?
By the way,
They haven't helped us this far.
Brevin is like thousands of miles behind us. We probably passed right by him on our way here.
I don't think that's going to help us.
And then Charles says, "Yes, good sirs, I expected that you would know this information. So pardon me for overstepping, but Brevin, being one of the heads of House Deneath, is most likely at Carlacting, the capital of where their house resides."
Damn it. You got my hopes up. I thought you were going to say Father Stenson was dead. But he's not.
Oh, no, Father Stenson is very much alive.
Sad. It's a sad day.
In fact, he is now the mayor of Ironside.
Of course he is.
He is now the spiritual and political leader of the town.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jesus.
No, oh, Silver Flame. You got it right.
Yes, in your absence, in the aftermath of the situation with the cultists of the Blood of Lowell, many people sought comfort from him in his sermons, and he was able to bring together the town in a way that they had not before. It seems like he's done good work. The town is stronger now more than ever, and closer.
Yeah, I bet.
I literally thought of that just to piss off Petrie, but now I'm actually digging the idea of him being there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You gotta make him do well just to make people mad.
Well, I wish to seek audience with the mayor, apparently. Ugh.
Well, I need to go into Ironside. I'm happy to travel with you there.
So would he be called Mayor Father Stenson or Father Mayor Stenson? What's the official title here?
We'll check his door. He's probably got it there.
I'm just gonna go Mayor Father. Seems more natural.
Yes, very good, sir. Often people refer to him based on the specific role he might be serving. While he is in the church, doing his sermons. People refer to him as Flamekeeper Stenson. When he is just walking about town, they refer to him as simply Stenson or Mayor Stenson.
Sure. Well, again, I posed the question to everybody: how long do we plan to stay here? I don't think we should be here for very long.
At least a night.
Baba interjects and he says, "You must stay at least 2 days. I have made arrangements for when you returned home. Something to bring comfort and a way for Baba to repay you for agreeing to me being present here."
Marthal perks up. Comfort, you say? What is this comfort you seek to bring?
Through Charles, I have arranged for the finest barber in Karnath to come and provide fancy haircuts, restyling, pedicures and manicures. I hear those are in style now. As well as bloodletting through leeches and other means of small comforts.
What about eyebrow implants?
That is possible.
Great work, Baba.
It's not like our invitation from Moraine's going to go bad at this point. What has it been? 2 months?
You're a great asset, Baba. I don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you.
So Marthal's gonna
Your sudden agreeableness, Elmorn, is concerning. Is different.
I've turned over a new leaf.
I shall not look gift horse in mouth.
I'd like to do an insight check on Elmorn.
I was going to say, you hear that, Elmorn? She just called you a horse. You going to take that?
Someone called me a horse? Well, that's just silly.
I don't like it.
So I will summon the barber, and he will come. Should be here in night. By morning, should be here.
What is Baba again?
It's a sphinx.
Yep, the ghost of a sphinx, though trapped in the shape of a man because he died in the shape of a man, that was ambushed by kobolds in his lair, which some of the stones were used in the construction of the Handsome Manor. And so in the basement there is an everlasting portal between the Handsome Mansion and his lair.
Okay, so after I come in, so Baba, let's take a hypothetical question. How would you try to kill something that could not be killed?
Oh, interesting question. What makes thing not be able to be killed? For example, statue exists but can't be killed, is not alive.
I'm going to regret asking him this question.
Contains life, best that can be determined. When killed, fire, acid, doesn't matter. Comes back, reforms.
Is reincarnated?
Same body.
Oh, interesting.
And almost instant, I guess.
Regeneration, perhaps.
Sure.
Magic like troll?
They say it doesn't have a soul either.
Also, I guess troll does not work. You mentioned fire. Trolls cannot regenerate after exposure to flame. Baba will ponder. Is difficult challenge, but is accepted.
Good.
Sounds good.
Ivar is off measuring. There was a closet in this place. He is off measuring that to as exactly as he can.
Is it the same closet that Colmar has claimed as his room?
I don't believe so, because I was staying in Colmar's room when he was away. But when he was back, like when I was first looking at the thing, I was like, well, there are no bedrooms left, so I guess I get to sleep in the closet. But Ivar's plan is he's going to go into town and buy a lot of metal and some gears. He is basically going to turn it into one of those little mini homes where like the bed will fold out from the wall.
Oh, awesome. Done. It's allowed. It's added to the Hanson Mansion.
What's that called? That's got a name. Yeah, I don't know. Tassus would probably have on his way back worked to carefully remove the glass from the doll's head, and I imagine because the shit's fucking terrible. It probably took a while. It took the whole trip to get it all off. So now that we're back, I'll probably return it to Elmore.
Okay.
So I guess I go to my room, and you hear the door open, and then I come back and close the door and walk down the stairs. I pass Charles. Charles, can you do me a favor, please?
Sure, Colmar.
The room up there that was supposed to be mine, apparently it has been occupied.
Oh, I'm sorry, good sir. I thought I had cleaned it sufficiently.
Did you try burning? Like torching the whole thing?
No, good sir. Is that truly necessary?
Oh yeah. And I just walk away.
Got a bit of an ammonia smell.
I wished it was just ammonia.
Let me see what I could do. I go up there, take like a bandana or something like that, tie it around my face.
Make a sanity roll.
Bring out my little buddy. Hey Basil, think you can work your little magic here?
You see him like extend a couple of like pseudopods, kind of sensing the area, and then they shrink back in, and you can see him kind of, and it almost feels like he's almost solidifying in front, like he's building an armor for himself. But he'll kind of turn into like a crumply, like moving stone type thing, and walk around and do his best. Go ahead and give me a spellcaster check with advantage.
Suggest my...
Just your intelligence.
With advantage.
So, Colma, what kind of diseases were in here?
18.
All right. It's almost completely clear. There just seems to be one spot on the corner of the wall that kind of emits a small odor, but it no matter what, Basil just can't get that part out.
Alrighty. Hey, we did what we could. It's mostly gone. There's like one corner, put a air freshener up there or something, and it'll maybe disguise it. Or air it out. Open the door.
Build a ventilation system.
Yeah.
So I guess I walk back in there, open the door, and I see that one spot. And the smell hits me, and I firebolt that wall. And burn it.
Remember when the Hampton Mansion burned down? That was great.
Almost again.
Last time you firebolted something you weren't sure about.
Colmar, go ahead and roll me a percentile.
All right. 3.
Jesus Christ. I thought I said it where it wouldn't happen, but apparently it did. So the firebolt hits the spot and it goes up, and then it starts to spread, and then you're like, it gets to a very quickly an uh-oh moment.
Walks away.
Is the smell gone, though?
It's hard to tell with all the carbon suddenly in the air.
Okay. All right.
Omar, what are you doing?
Just doing some cleaning.
Can I smell it?
And now your bed is caught on fire.
It's probably for the better. I messaged Baba. And tell him to come up here.
Baba is suddenly there, and he's like, "Oh, Bolshevik! Shit, Golmar, how would you? What? Yeah."
Is that smell gone? Can you smell that?
he puts out his hand, and a cooling effect happens that reduces the flames to just be smoldering. The wood of your room, of the walls and everything is quite charred. Your bed is nothing more than ashes, but the smell is gone. At least that smell. Now it just smells like this is somebody, like a burnt down home.
Good. That's much better. Okay. And I cast grease on the walls, and I feel like I'm back here.
Bolmar, you are a strange wizard, but you're okay. Just don't burn down the mansion. Is Baba's home too?
Okay, Baba.
I was a freeloader.
Yeah, I just scare him with kobolds whenever I don't like him. And then he swears at me in Russian.
Nah, B3 is little Suga.
So Tacitus was giving me the doll?
Yeah, the doll
Okay.
that we used.
And so he tried to clean it up as much as he could, but how clean does it look? What's it look like? What state is it in now?
I mean, mainly just had the glass on it.
But, well, you destroyed the doll too, so it's literally just a head, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the doll's head, sure.
Yeah. Just think of Newt from Aliens. It's a little scratched up from getting the glass off, but it's mostly intact.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't look too bad?
No.
Okay.
I was being very careful. I took the whole trip here to clean it off.
I'm like, wow. Thanks, Tacitus. How long have we been friends now?
Seems like ages.
Yeah.
I
No one's
don't
ever
even-
done
I
anything like
don't
this.
even know anymore.
Wow. I value your friendship.
It's still weird, but thanks.
You know, I'm trying out a new thing. It's called
Can I roll an insight check?
Everybody's trying to roll inside.
Would you say you want to roll insight?
Everybody seems to be wanting to do that. I'm just letting it ride. I don't care.
I don't know. What would Martha get from his insight check?
Elmorn seems genuine, but it's like it is very jarring. It seems like he's new to this whole being nice things, and he's trying a little too hard.
Yeah. Well, be nice all you want, I guess, but just as long as you're mean when it matters. Yeah.
As long as you're mean when we enlarge you, then throw you at the enemy.
No, I really just want to help people now. So if I have to do it to help people, then I do it. Help you guys, I'll do it. I'll be really mean. Just like before.
Yeah, I think I prefer Batman Elmorn.
Bat who?
Martha is a little unnerved.
Yeah, I'm not even a player, and I was unnerved by Elmorn's statement just there.
I think
I'm just a nice guy. I just want to help people. I've taken the new oath of devotion now. No longer driven by vengeance.
Just as long as it's not like the oath of repentance or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? I'm the oath of repentance now. Everyone can be redeemed.
oh,
Come, my children.
I don't know. Do you legit want to change your oath? You totally could.
Ooh.
Given what you've experienced, I would definitely allow that.
like
Let's say not quite yet.
Okay.
Elmorn he's as much as I'm forcing myself, Elmorn is forcing himself.
Fair enough.
When we meet any more Warforged Titans, we just make them grow big and we say, Elmorn, you get in there and you hug that Titan and you don't let go.
I'll just look to Marthal, and Marthal, in your head, you don't see me actually speak. You just hear it in your head. You just hear my voice say, "Let's keep an eye on him and make sure this doesn't turn for the worse." Yeah.
No,
may
I
respond.
will not eat him.
What's that?
But and it grunts. Like, no, we will not eat Elmorn. Martha turns to you. He goes, and then the eye looks up, like one of the eye ends look up at you, and it also nods, and then it kind of comes back down.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you just realize that you don't recognize a good thing till it's gone, you know? I just want you guys to know I appreciate you.
Petrie walks up to you, trying to do his best Elmorn impression. He says, "You acted like a pussy."
Now, Petrie, I'm trying to be nice.
What are you scared of, little boy?
Make it really hard.
Listen, nope, it's okay. This one, I'm pretty sure it's okay. It is societally accepted to be mean to this one. It's all right.
I don't think that's what my daughter would want me to do. So I'm going to be nice.
Your daughter has not spent months traveling with this one.
Very true.
Petrie's like walking around acting tough, and he's like, "For my daughter!" And he smites one of the tables.
Give me an attack roll.
Table's AC is 25.
Oh shit!
It's a plate armor defended table.
Oh boy!
And Charles may dive under the sword.
That's 21.
All right. So Petrie raises his sword to smite the table. Just before it makes contact, it alights in the silver flame. It splits the table in two, and it catches fire in holy radiance.
Remember when the Hanson Mansion burned down?
You guys have to be careful. I don't want to burn down burning down this house. Well, it's technically our house. It is most and especially Charles. Where will Charles live if there is no handsome mansion?
So while Martha is proselytizing to Petrie about not burning down the house, with the holy flame just spreading from the table, Baba enters the room and is like, "Oh, Petrie, you little suka!" and then
see little pseudopods come from little little basil in my armor, and they just kind of like wiggle, and then the flames just kind of die down. Hey, good job.
Yeah,
you did that all on your own.
Yeah, so Baba raised his hand, but before he could, Basil took care of it.
You better watch out, Baba, or I'll smite you for my daughter.
You're testing my patience.
Shall I prepare a cage for this crazy little suka?
I approach Petrie and say, with a hand on his shoulder, settle down for a moment, yeah? And I cast Hold Person on him. You make a wisdom save.
Okay. 13.
It is insufficient. You're paralyzed for a minute.
You can't
Use an action point. Use an action point.
Yeah, use an action point to extend the duration. I will totally do that. I am
you
okay
can't
with
hold
this.
me, I'm about to turn big.
Except now you can't talk because you're.
So while he is emotionless, held mid like taunt, I guess, I don't know. Baba immediately touches his forehead, and Petrie disappears, and he is now downstairs in a cage.
I'm still concentrating on the spell, so he could be in the cage and paralyzed. I don't care.
I think you guys have like a dungeon, right?
Yeah, we have a basement. That was Coleman's like research place.
Well, I know that you have the basement, but I'm trying to remember
It's like
bringing
a big
up.
saw going on here. Of course, he has a dungeon. Where I play my.
There's my pictures of the Hampton Mansion. All right, so let's see. Regardless, Baba is putting. Oh, you know what Baba did? He transported Petrie to the kobold lair.
Okay.
Okay. So after all that happens, you see Elmorn's face go back into his trademark scowl, and he's just like, "Thanks. I'm gonna go have a drink of milk alone," and then I just walk off to wherever this milk cow is. Or has it already been milked for me to grab a glass of?
Charles has prepared some for you, yes.
And I just grab it and I stalk off to my room. And you hear some muttering. And you hear the words, "Why is being nice so hard?"
An hour later, Petrie emerges from the portal, having finally gotten through all the obstacles to get back.
Did we know that he was transported there?
Baba would have been forthright with it if you had asked him.
Okay, so can I message Petrie while he's there?
Yeah.
So I send Petrie a message and say, hope you're good. On your way out, if you get a chance and you see any cobalt parts, if you want to bring them up here, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Which we would have looked for them.
All right, so Petrie, you probably found a desiccated body of one of the kobolds that you guys killed in there.
Yeah, I just drag it along.
Pretty firmly decayed, but I mean it's kobold, so I mean you
Yeah.
carry it in one hand. It's a little guy. You tie it to your belt.
Easy.
Isn't Petrie also really small though?
I'm a half elf. I'm about a little less than 6 feet.
Also, he's
A 6'14" Is that
got
what you said?
skinny arms that are like
A
strong.
little less. A little less, like 5.5 feet, you know.
And he's older than 14. He's 16.
Yeah.
Much older.
Probably like 16 and a half.
I'm an adult.
At least by now. All right. Anything you guys doing before the barber comes?
Hmm.
No.
Ivar was going to town to buy all of his supplies to make up the closet.
Okay.
Elmorn would spend some quality time with the gem.
Okay.
But
I was gonna go with
I feel like examining the gem and kind of contemplating how it would be nice. Not weirding out his companions.
A collection of self-help books.
And also, yeah, basically. And also, he especially thinks about how to deal with Petrie.
That's some shit you need to pray on.
Just to suppress his murderous thoughts.
And then Petrie, you said you were going in the town with Ivar.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Ivo. Yeah.
What are you doing in town?
Harassing Father Stenson.
Ivar will mention on the way that he thinks now that there's a fixed supply of aggression in the party. So the nicer Elmorn gets, the more aggressive Petrie gets.
All right, so do you have anything specific you want to talk to Stenson about?
Bringing paladins to a tour.
Okay. So actually, so you guys are in town. Ivar is going about purchasing his supplies. A lot of the supplies actually can probably be gotten from the McCormick's Folly headquarters, which has been rebuilt since it was destroyed in the bombing that started the whole thing with the Blood of Vault cultist. And then so you see Father Simpson walking down the street, kind of talking to people, shaking hands and everything, kissing babies, all that stuff. And then he sees you, and then he turns around and tries to walk away.
I just follow him. Like I start tapping him on the shoulder.
He stops. You can see him visibly like drop his head and sigh very loudly. And he turns around and he says, "Why, Petrie, you're still alive. Hooray."
And so are you. You're doing well for yourself, Mayor Stenson.
I found a need, and thankfully, by the will of the Silver Flame, I was able to provide for the people in my care.
Yeah, too bad you still don't have any powers, hey? Anyways,
one's faith is not defined by their powers, but by the acts that they do within their power. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry.
Yep.
Listen.
Thank you.
Don't kill Petrie. Don't kill Petrie. Don't kill Petrie.
Even I have that thought sometimes.
I figured what thoughts would be going through your head is, boy, I hope this doesn't kill Petrie.
Yeah, I honestly, like, when we first started playing, I honestly thought he'd die after going, like, because there was, like, I had to go into, like, the destroyed castle or whatever, and it was collapsing. And I thought he was going to die there, so I'm like, yeah, just go in there. Do it, Petrie, you idiot.
Yep. I thought you were going to die when the acid gloop monster took over your body. Like, it was like the second session we had, I think. That's when I thought you were going to die.
You definitely should have died whenever we encountered the fucking Warforged.
Yeah. I played dead, though, so...
Yeah. Akin to.
Well, for what it's worth, I thought you were going to kill yourself with the cursed sword. When you kept stabbing yourself and you were like down to a hit point or something.
Yeah, that sword ended up going into mallet space. We lost it. I think even like I was messaging Hawk and he was like, "Yeah, I'm taking that away from you."
Taking what away from you?
Remember like the sword from the forest, from the enchanted forest or whatever?
Oh yeah.
And whenever I killed something, I would get stabbed.
Oh.
And it was was it reducing your maximum hit points?
Yeah, it was. I was on like 30 at one point. Like that was the lowest I got. And every time I killed something, it took 5 of my hit points away.
So is Father Stenson like a member of the Silver Flame?
Yeah, he's like a local church dude. Like he's the preacher or whatever.
Then maybe he'll be able to identify your armor.
No, he's got no powers. He's useless.
All right. So,
So what we're gonna do with Mordain? The flesh beaver or
Yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna go, and hopefully he doesn't want to kill us.
I mean, is that any better? Is that any more of a plan than going into a tour?
I mean,
Well, a
it
tour is
seems-
going to be all around nastiness because, like, I did the legend lore on the egg, and again, all I got back was pure evil. So, probably unreasonable evil. This Mordain fella, we might actually be able to come to some sort of, probably not beneficial for us, accord. But the egg, nothing good is going to come from that at all.
Mordain might tell us how to deal with the Dalkir. I don't know why we want to deal with the Dalkir. Why that's our problem? Maybe because you let him go, or her go.
The Dalkir is in my mind. Ever since we came into contact.
So there you go. You might get information to end that. That will probably benefit Mordain, and then we will have to figure out how to kill the unkillable guy. After that, I feel like if he wanted to kill you, there are easier ways than getting us to walk all the way over there to him. But maybe he just has like a great sense of humor.
it's a slow burning one.
Right.
Or he's just really lazy.
Now that I've just made you cross the entire continent, surprise.
Also, Kurt, did you get my message?
I don't think so.
All right. So Petrie, you're talking to Flamekeeper Sensen.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right. So Stenson, you know how we were talking about paladins a while ago? I definitely need them again.
What are you talking about, Petrie?
So there's like this giant egg in a tour which I sort of banished here from the Mournlands, and well, I need paladins to help me take it on, you know? Plus I'm wearing this really cool armor. Do you like it?
It's reminiscent of the lycanthropic purge, but regardless, yay, you've updated your style. I don't understand how this egg needs any kind of attention from the paladins of Thrain.
It's pure evil in the egg, and we were watching people get sucked into it, and I think we should be interested in it because we're paladins of goodness and justness and all the good stuff in this world. So kill the egg.
Sometimes, Petrie, I have to wonder if you can actually hear the words that come out of your face. It sounds like just a bunch of words put together with no sense of direction or meaning. So, an egg that people were sucked into?
Yeah,
I
you got it. Hey, Ivar, can you help explain this thing?
Oh,
Oh, by the way, this is Ivar, my gnome.
You're muted.
Muted, Kurt.
I guess I'm there then. When he says egg, he's probably under describing it. See, we had to go into the Mournlands to find. I won't even go into why we had to go there, but the Warforged had found this enormous 150, I don't really know the exact height, 150-foot tall egg. Inside, there was clearly some sort of monster. I didn't see the exact shape of it, but through the shell, you could see it moving. They were using a creation forge to drain the life from people they had kidnapped and feed it into the egg, presumably to help it mature.
Wait, you went into the Mournland?
Yeah.
With this guy?
Yeah. And he decided to use a spell to banish the egg. But of course, it didn't go somewhere that would destroy the egg. It's apparently, I'm told now, in the city of Ator.
Yeah, I was talking to Tira. She told me it was there.
And it's probably pretty close to hatching at this point.
In fact, it was hatching as we were leaving.
So
Petrie
it's quite...
here?
Yeah,
Oh, hey,
Martha tagged along.
He's taking a stroll. I couldn't help it over here.
I was out taking a 2-hour stroll.
First of all, that is definitely a concern if what you describe is true. Also, Petrie, do not use that name in vain.
Who?
Tira.
I didn't use it in vain. I said that I was talking to her.
Petrie, I have dealt with a lot from you, but I will not deal with blasphemy. The only person that Tira might speak to is the great Flamekeeper in Thrain.
I don't think so. She was definitely talking to me, and you're crazy. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
So at this point, Flamekeeper Stenson slaps you with a backhand.
He does like, that must mean that I am. No, he's just like, no, you're wrong. What are you talking about? She was talking to me.
And all the citizens are just kind of like, and you can hear them whispering, wow, Flamekeeper Stenson has never been shown so much anger. This guy Petrie, he must be really bad news. Yeah, what's going on with that guy? Who is that? I don't know. He seems like kind of a bad dude. Like you just hear all these whispers,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wait a minute, wasn't that the hero of Fort Deep Dark? Yeah, but if Flamekeeper Stenson doesn't like them, did he really do that? And now people are starting to doubt your hero title.
Ivar says, that's not cool, man. You don't strike the mentally challenged for being dumb.
You do if you've given them sufficient warning to stop and they continue.
I think he just challenged me to a duel, people. I must fight Flamekeeper Stenson for my honor.
Petrie, do not be ridiculous. The dueling rules of Karnath have not been enforced in over 200 years.
Okay.
Sounds like a great time for Tass to show. Hey, what's going on here?
So Stenson looks to Ivar and he says, If what you speak is true, I will look into it and see if I can direct the church's attention towards this.
Yeah, our friend cast a spell to try to get some information on it. That's where the only information he got was that it was pure evil and that it was potentially world destroying.
And that it was there. 100% certain.
See? I told you it was there.
He just kind of looks at you and is like, and he says, as I said, I will speak with my contacts in the church. If there's nothing else, I'll be on my way. And he turns and doesn't even wait and just kind of walks away.
There's so many more important things I need to tell you bye.
And you can just hear people whispering and rumors starting to spread. People wondering who you
I
are.
should.
If you're the same Petrie, or maybe you're a different Petrie.
I should run for mayor.
What's that movie with the politician who runs for mayor versus like the average guy?
What?
I'm not sure.
Joe Dirt.
No.
Is it the one with Will Ferrell in it?
No, that was
Yeah. Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis.
No, that was for president. That was the campaign.
Yeah,
I've
that's the
heard-
one where Will Ferrell punched a baby. It was great.
Ivar is going to go around spreading the rumor that Petrie has a twin that is in town while Petrie is back at the Hanson Mansion.
Okay.
I roll deception or something.
Yeah, roll me some deception.
I'll use an action point. I'll use another action point. I doubled my result though, 1 to 2.
Welcome to Mooseport.
That is a 22.
All right. So you did encounter some people that were very doubtful, because I do want to incorporate that one a little bit in there. But overwhelmingly, you get people talking about the possibility of there being a twin, although they're kind of also curious as to why both of them are called Petrie, as referred to by Flamekeeper Stenson.
Have you met Petrie? Imagine how dumb his parents were. Do you think they can remember 2 names?
Wow.
I'm convinced.
Yeah. I didn't even.
I'm convinced. All right. Anything else anybody's doing in town?
I guess I would go into town, do some research,
Okay.
see what I
kind of
can
research?
find on Mordain again, see if there's anything new that comes up.
Okay.
And probably Natavish Kashana if I can find anything about him or where he's from.
All right. I will. I'll send you an email about that. So once you guys return to the Hanson Mansion next day, this barber comes, very flamboyantly dressed and styled, and he, gives you guys haircuts, does these massages. He clips your nails and make sure that you guys all your calluses are getting scrubbed away. Giving you some back massages, doing some leech bloodletting and everything. And then he leaves, and after he leaves, every single one of you begin to start becoming more and more zombie-like. Some of you have even fallen into a coma of sorts. And next time will be our Animal Friends adventure.
Hell yeah.
I expected it to go to be tonight, as outlined by the label in the lower right-hand corner, but apparently all the other stuff took up a lot more time than I expected. So
How it goes.
so that'll be. But next session is Kurt, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So next week will be Kurt's game, and then after that we'll have our Animal Friends game, and then. Colmar, do you want to reveal your animal friend?
I'll wait till next game.
Okay.
Is it the bullet? Is it the bullet?
Nope.
No.
It'd be a little unfair if everybody's animal friend is like size tiny, and he has literally a huge animal friend.
Are we statting the animal friends?
All of them are statted, but I think
okay.
next time that session will be more about story dice and just doing the D6 rules to reduce complication and add creativity to it.
That's awesome.
And of course, we'll probably never recover from this semi-zombie-like state.
It'll be up to the eye scarf and the clockwork flying guy and everyone to go and find Mordain.
Leftover scars from our animal adventure. All have like random traits of animals.
Yeah, we're not even participating. It's our little creature friends, and yet we are still scarred.
People will forever like meow like a cat. Someone will forever trip like a squirrel or something. Oh wait, that's Martha.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of check in with everybody about the direction the campaign is going. People's thoughts, if this is kind of how you're envisioning that this would go, if you guys feel like you're getting enough agency and kind of making decisions about what's going on next, or if you guys are thinking about ways that you might change or improve the direction.
Tacitus already has an idea for what he's going to do right before we leave, so should be interesting. I'll message it to you so that you have an idea as to what to do with it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
although sometimes it's more fun to come up with that on the fly.
Yeah, you might know already what would happen. I don't know, but we'll see.
We will see.
my thoughts all relate to the emails you sent me tonight and previously, so I will email you back on those.
Okay.
I think everything's cool. Yeah, I understand everything which is going on around us, so it should be cool to figure out what we're going to do next.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting juxtaposition of a tour versus Mordain, because both of them, from the player's perspective, well, from the character's perspective, sound totally awful.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, ah, man, how do I choose? Like, there wasn't not even like a clear winner, or like even like a, well, that sounds a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ivar was thinking, well, Mordain doesn't have anything against me or Tacitus, so.
Who are you guys?
Let's go. You have fun. We're gonna dip out.
I was a
All
bit.
right, and then
Sorry, I was a bit
go
confused
ahead.
on that one thing I sent you, but I think with that email, we can kind of, explain that.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering about that myself with that confusion. But that's a small thing that is pretty easily worked out. But is everybody still having fun with the game? Everybody wants to keep going with this in this direction and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's great.
Excellent. Because I'm going to be honest, I do have an end in sight for this game.
Ooh.
There is an end game, and I'm excited because it'll be the first campaign I ever ran that will have a climax. So I'm excited for that.
That's cool.
And
See,
I see
that makes me curious because it seems to me like we'll find the Dalkir, maybe defeat the Dalkir, then maybe go defeat Mordain, but there's still the egg, and there's this other
Yeah.
set of emails you sent me. So it's like the world is still going to be on the verge of dying, but campaign's over.
Well, I will say the emails that I sent you are related to what you guys are heading towards.
I see.
He plans to kill us.
But
There's gonna be a whole other party that deals with the egg.
It's going to be next. It's the next session. The end of the animal session will be the animal companions kill us.
Yeah.
It'll be like the Christmas friends from South Park.
Right.
They do all that work to try and wake us, and then they find out we're just dead. Somebody's come in while we were asleep and murdered us all.
I can't wait for that session because I have so many absolutely ridiculous things I'm going to be including. I mean, the main enemy is a barber, so it only gets better from there.
We're gonna have some fucking words with Baba whenever we wake up.
Should have killed him.
Yeah. Baba just wanted some more undead friends around. Worst case, the animal companions take over the Hanson mansion. Charles immediately switches allegiances to the scarf.
And then, yeah, sounds about right. Guys, have a good night.
Yep.
All right, take care.
Crazy.
All right.
Bye.